Three, two, one.
I clapped.
Did you? I didn't hear it. Hello and welcome back to another thing. Today I'm here with, I would say, the YouTube equivalent of my grandfather, Mr. Tekking101. How are you this evening?
I'm doing good. Grand Line Review, I'm alright. Can I use your real name, or is that weird?
You can use my real name. No one calls me Grand Line Review and Dude in a Room.
Okay, hi Dude in a Room, Grand Line Review, New World Review. How are you doing? Okay. Hi, Liam.
Liam is fine. I'm all right. It's very early in the morning, as you can probably tell from my voice, but as it often is when I'm talking to Americans.
That's the hurdle you must face being an Australian YouTuber.
It's true. Some people don't even think I exist.
Oh my god, I don't think that's true.
Or at least that I'm acting. I'm pretending to be Australian.
Oh yeah, you're actually from New Zealand.
All Australians are just Kiwis in disguise.
Yeah, you're just Kiwis, and I love Kiwis, by the way.
It's a very grand conspiracy.
I like Kiwis. The fruit and the bird are both very interesting.
I prefer the bird to the fruit, I will say.
Does the bird eat the fruit? That's a question. Oh, by the way, tangents are gonna be crazy with this probably, but I'll try to stay on topic, okay?
That they are. Let's get this back onto the rails.
Yes, please.
Would you like to tell us a bit about yourself and what you do on this platform? And how long you've been doing it as well, because that's very notable in your case.
Yes, I'm an old guard of this. So I'm Tekking101. My name's Matt. I've been doing YouTube for 13 years now. Started the channel in May of 2009. I was 16 years old. I was a sophomore in high school when I first started. Started anime stuff like the week I graduated high school 2 years later in 2011. Talked about Bleach for a couple years there. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you edit that? Talked about Bleach for a couple of years there, about 5 years actually. Bleach ended, really sad, but it's coming back soon, so that's good. And then One Piece after Bleach ended from 2017 to present. So we're doing that right now, and honestly, the overwhelming support over the years has been what keeps me going. Managed to get to about the 100,000 subscriber mark just doing Bleach, and everything else over 500,000 subscribers from One Piece. So now we're sitting around 670, gonna hit 700K soon. And so yeah, it's been a wild ride, and hope to keep it up for as long as I can, or at least bare minimum until One Piece ends. But that'll be for a couple of years off, so we'll be all right.
That'll take you through another 10 years, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, easily.
That's fantastic. This is such a rare opportunity because I wouldn't call you one of the original One Piece YouTubers. I wouldn't even call you one of the original anime YouTubers. I would just call you one of the original YouTubers. Your legacy is so profound.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so, I mean, there was a lot of people around before me because I think YouTube, it started in 2005. I don't think it really started to really catch on. You didn't really start seeing, like, personalities, I think, until, like, 2006, 2007. I was a big fan of James Rolfe, who's the Angry Video Game Nerd. He was probably the biggest inspiration for me to start, doing videos and stuff. Watching his stuff, I just was like, hey, this isn't like some actor. This is just a dude in his room that's making videos about, well, video games. And I thought I could do that too. So here we are.
And you absolutely did. Can I ask how old you were when you made that first video? Because I've seen it, and you look very young.
Yes, it was in May of 2009, so I had just turned 16.
Wow.
I just also had braces put on, like, the month before that, so I literally couldn't talk very well. My F's and my T's were very slurred. But it was pretty much just in the vein of watching James. I'm like, okay, this is how YouTube is done. You make videos about video games, and I did a review of this video game called Medieval, which was for the PlayStation 1, one of my favorite games of all time. And it was a horrible review. Like, if you actually, from just a technical standpoint, it was awful. I didn't know how to record. Capture cards were really expensive back then. Didn't know how to record, footage of that. So I just, for the first 9 episodes, I think it was just the camera facing me as I played the game. It was horrible.
Let's dwell on that for a second, because when you say episodes, this was, I'm counting now, a 14-part review, was it? 15-part? No,
counted!
More.
Yes.
Significantly more, because you changed it. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I
had
review part 5.1, part 5.2. Oh.
Because that was back, I don't know if YouTube still does it now if you're not partnered, but back then it was a hard limit for the length of videos. So I think it was a 10-minute limit that you could film, and then you had to break stuff up into parts.
I do remember those dark days. I used to watch a lot of Let's Plays that had to be broken up in those 10-minute chunks, yeah.
And it was still like during the time period where you didn't really know how to structure these. So I was like, medieval game game review episode 4.2 or something like that. And it's just these weird ways to title stuff. You didn't really understand. Even Let's Plays were kind of new at that point, you know?
This was still in the era where YouTube was graduating from cat videos, I would say.
Yeah, cat videos. And, oh, did you know YouTube in its earliest rendition was actually a dating website?
Yes, I did know that. That's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, if you look it back on the Wayback Machine, it's, yeah, like, you know, I'm a man looking for a woman or a man for a man. And it's just like, I don't know how the dynamic would work. I guess it's just you make videos about like who you are and stuff. And that's like how it used to operate. But yeah, the guy, I think, was it Chad Hurley or Chuck Hurley, one of the original 3 people that actually created YouTube, actually graduated from IUP, which is a college that is like really close to where Indiana University, Pennsylvania, which is not far from here. And I'm like, one of my friends actually went there. So it's crazy. It's actually very close.
Great. That's a fantastic bit of almost completely irrelevant trivia. Wonderful.
That's what I do.
Which, yeah, that is very much your specialty. Well, not irrelevant, very relevant trivia. Tangents and trivia. Yeah. You cover the T's, I would say.
Tekking, tangents, trivia. If you master tangents and trivia, you will somehow manage to be relevant on YouTube for over a decade. That's the secret, I guess.
Incredibly high energy. So much that I would like to ask you, why is it that people choose to watch Tekking videos? What is your key appeal that makes you stand out, in your opinion?
Don't know. I actually do have a good idea. Because I've been reading comments and stuff, and you know, people like post on Reddit and things, and I would say the one that comes up the most is people will say some form of, and I'm paraphrasing, of like, I like Tekking because he reminds me of just a friend that you have that gets really excited over something. Okay, whether that be anime or like mythology, because whenever I talk about that, I get really excited too, or anything like that. People just relate to it, I guess. That, and I also make longer content. And people say, like, that helps me when I'm, like, on a long drive. I had a comment today on my video from a guy that works for FedEx. And he's just like, I'm on truck, you know, driving around a lot every day. And it's like, you know, 7, 8 hour, 10-hour shifts. And I just listen to you all the time. And I'm like, okay. I'd feel like you'd go insane, but okay. So that's a combination of the 2 reasons, I guess.
No, that's a fantastic reason. Basically, an extended hangout with a friend talking about, hopefully, the thing it is that you like.
Yeah.
It's very simple, very effective. I have to ask, watching your videos, as an introvert, it makes me tired seeing the energy that you're throwing out. Are you just an infinite supply of energy? Is that how you are in everyday life as well?
I am definitely not an infinite wellspring of energy. In fact, the first hour of my day is typically just spent like waking up. I'll just like drag myself out of bed and just go very calmly into the day. And after about 2 or 3 hours, I'll, you know, go for a walk or so, wake up, and then I'll decide to film. I usually I'll wake up around 9, film around maybe noon or 1 o'clock. So it takes a while to get there, but I'm just always like this. Like, anybody that's met me will know that I have this sense of like energy and excitement about me, and that always happens. So it's like, I'm not scripting my videos. I'm not like, okay, I might dial it up a little bit for a joke or for a skit or something, but for the most part, when I express that level of energy, you're getting me pretty much in my natural element. Much to the chagrin of maybe some of my friends. It might be a little bit too much, but that's what it is, yeah.
No, it's great. And that takes us to something you've just mentioned, something that absolutely horrifies me. You do not script your videos. You just wake up, go for a walk, and then go, you know what? I'm going to film a 40-minute video where I talk straight about something. I just pull it from wherever, and I'm going to make it compelling. That is, you have no idea the kind of envy I feel towards that kind of ability.
I've gotten that before, too. And it's like, I've tried, and like, you know, you got to make your videos the way that works for you. I've tried to script stuff before, and I find it very difficult because I'll script something and I'll, you know, spend time doing that, then sit down and do my video, and I'm like, oh, I want to go off script. Screw it. I'm the one that decides. And I'm like, I just, you know, wrinkle up the script. I'm like, I wrote this an hour ago. I have new ideas now. Let's go. So it's very erratic but that's just the style, you know? I'll write down like little notes. I have a little notepad next to me just to like, okay, cover this point, this point, this point. And then animal facts, which is a thing I do on my channel, is mostly what I write down.
Yep.
And then you just move on from there.
It blows my mind. I cannot do that. Absolutely cannot do that. It sounds nice and time efficient.
Give it a shot, Liam. Give it a shot.
No.
just turn on the camera and go. Just talk.
I mean, that's what we're doing right now, and it's semi-working out, but that's because I have your full force to support me here.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Which part about the video process do you enjoy most?
Probably just the idea of, like, the process of coming up what I'm going to talk about, like, the following day, because that's usually how I do stuff. Film, and then go away, do other stuff, and then more into the evening when I'm getting ready for bed, I'll start thinking about, like, okay, what am I going to do tomorrow? Okay. And that's when I'll get like a lot of interesting ideas just flowing into my head of like, oh, I can do this joke and then this for an intro, because I'm always thinking of unique ways to start the videos off. Those are often the hardest part, but the most fun, because that's like, for example, that's how Barry was born. You know, the Barry the Brick, my little sidekick, was just an intro sketch that I thought of like 10 minutes before I filmed.
Yes,
but
and
those
now
are a
you
lot
have
of fun.
A full-on channel mascot with merchandise and everything.
A channel mascot, merchandise. I don't have any Barry the Brick plushies on sale right now, but I'm thinking about doing Christmas ones later. So you can get a Barry that has a Christmas hat for the holiday season of 2022. So look forward to that. But yeah, that's probably the most fun part. And then the least fun is just like, okay, video's filmed now. Gotta edit. It's editing, you know, done it like 2,000 times before this. It is what it is. And then upload, and then that's it. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. How many videos have you made over the course of your career?
I just looked this up the other day. The official number on YouTube, I think, is like 2,500 or something, but I have a side channel where I film stuff and of that nature. And then I don't know if you want to include live streams, if YouTube includes live streams in that number. So I'd say probably somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000.
Ooh, all right.
Which I don't know if that's a good number for being on YouTube for over a decade or a bad number. I don't know, but it's a number.
It is a number. It's a very big number. I'm about to hit the point where I've made 1,000 videos on Grand Line Review, so hearing that there's potentially 3 times that on your channel, again.
And how long have you been on YouTube again?
I started the channel in 2015, but I didn't start seriously pushing it till 2017.
So, yeah, so kind of like mine, where like 2009 is when I started, but I didn't start. The anime stuff really kicked off everything in 2011. Up until that point, I only had like 40 subscribers from talking about video games. So, yeah, that's about right.
So amongst all of those thousands of videos, is there one you're more proud of than the most? You get the idea. I'm not going to repeat the question.
Yeah, I get the idea. So yeah, there's a lot of videos that I filmed. One of my favorite to film is just the videos that aren't really reviews. They're just me having fun and just doing little sketches. Like the whole video is a sketch. I did a video where I was like fighting a robot version of myself. That was actually a review. That was a review of Taite Kubo's, who's the mangaka of Bleach. He did a manga called Bad Shield, and that was just like a one-shot manga. And I did a Christmas special where I reviewed it, but then at the end of it, I like fought myself, and there was a lot of special effects in that. They were very bad special effects, but it was fun to film. It was fun to edit. And then there was a Christmas special I did a couple years ago where I was running around my house. It just like stuff like that was just fun because it's like a little different. But yeah, in terms of just One Piece stuff, I really liked the Straw Hat discussions I did. I went through all the Straw Hats and I like dressed up as them, and I got different props. It was like one of the first things I did when I started talking about One Piece, and that was a lot of fun to do.
I don't even know how to start this question, because the way I would describe your channel is...
Go for it.
Whatever you want to do, you just do it. Whether that's like a One Piece discussion, whether it's reading fan mail on a live stream, whether it's playing Pokemon, you just go for it. So
you made the video analyzing my channel, which by the way, that was a great video. So thank you for that. I was very humbled by that. I'm like, oh my God, someone spent the time to analyze my channel. That's so cool. But I actually have started taking a little bit of your advice, because I started putting a lot of my extra stuff on my side channel, which I don't know. It's only been like a month or two, so we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, for the most part, my main channel was that. And I feel like, I don't know if that's just a thing with me being on the platform for so long. It's like, I've been here for over 10 years. I'll talk about whatever I feel like, and just put it up. You know what I mean? Like, because I have to have fun with this at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't feel like talking about One Piece today. I feel like I just did a video on Vinland Saga, which is a series I never discuss, but I do love it. I read it. So I did that. I knew it probably wouldn't get a lot of hits on the main channel. It might actually harm the main channel if I put it up there. So I moved that to the side channel. But, It's not going to get a lot of views. I could have made a One Piece video that would have gotten more views, but I wanted to talk about Vinland Saga that day, so that's what I did.
Yeah, I think that's very respectable. In an age of highly strategic, optimized, min-maxing YouTube, it makes you very genuine, and I suppose it does that because you are.
You're more into marketing than I am, and I feel like sometimes I wish I had more marketing skills and stuff, because I don't know, like, what is good on YouTube right now. Like, a couple years ago, I think they started to reward people that had longer form videos like mine. And so in 2016, 2017, I noticed a big boom in my channel. And I don't think the algorithm has changed since then, but that was completely by accident. I just made videos the same way I normally did, and it just synced up with the algorithm at that time, I guess.
Yeah, you were just coincidentally doing the right thing at the right time.
Yeah, I've never been that great about, like, even if, like, my YouTube manager or, like, somebody told me, like, make videos that are less than 10 minutes, you'll get more views. I'm like, that's just not how I do it, man. I'm sorry.
That's completely fair enough. Whatever works for you, because in the end, you're the one who needs the energy and the motivation to make this stuff.
I don't have a time limit either. I just film, and when I feel like it's done, and it's just usually between 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah.
It does seem that way on average, which is good because at least that's a bit of consistency, whether it be accidental or not. People know to expect like a good chunky half an hour video generally.
Yeah, I try to keep it, like, in that general ballpark. Like, if a video is, like, I feel like I'm done, but I'm only 14 minutes in, I'm like, all right, I need to figure something out to include in there to, like, get beyond the...
Animal facts.
Yeah, animal facts is pretty much where that comes in. Yeah, a 6-7 minute animal fact. We'll do that, yeah. I don't know why that's part of the channel now, but it is. And it's just like Barry. It's just like, it just happened. And now I have to go down the whole alphabet, so we'll see how it goes.
As long as people are having fun.
Yeah, they're having fun with it, and that's all that matters.
As a result, you've definitely developed a unique identity that I haven't seen anyone come close to replicating. And a lot of that does come through your thumbnail work. Would you like to tell us a bit about your thought process when making a thumbnail? Because you come up with some of the most unique stuff in this niche.
Really?
Yeah.
The thumbnail thing, I've heard conflicting reports on that. Some people say my thumbnails suck, and other people are like, wow, this is crazy. This is really good. And I'm like, whatever.
I would say they're high risk, high reward.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Like, and that really depends on just how, after I'm done editing, which is like the most boring part of the process, like I make the thumbnail at the end of the editing, like after the video's been rendered, and I'm like, all right, do I just want to get the video out as quick as possible? I'm hungry. I want to go eat lunch, or do I want to spend a little bit of time on this thumbnail? And you can tell the ones that are not. But, you know, I have a set list of different fonts that I prefer. I make my thumbnails in PowerDirector version 14, which is the same software I edit, where I could just I do some very rudimentary photoshopping in PowerDirector, and then I could just take a snapshot, and it's in the perfect format, like the 16:9 format, just it's for the thumbnails. So I'm like, okay. And typically what I'll do is background that's a little bit impressive, one character off to the side, and then, you know, Luffy punches Kaido off to the left in text or whatever, and then that's what I'll do. Yeah. I really love your thumbnails, though. There's some really powerful ones there. Yeah.
Thank you. I spend far too much time on them, so I hope so.
Oh, God. Oh, okay. Just to compare, I probably spend at maximum 10 minutes on my thumbnails, and that's on a day where I really can't come up with an idea.
I think you do phenomenal thumbnail work for 10 minutes. I would not be able to make something like this in 10 minutes.
So wait, how long do you take to make your thumbnails?
Oh, we don't need to talk about that.
Oh, God. That's one of those things that's honestly more of an afterthought for me, where I'm just like, thumbnail, okay.
At this point, it takes me longer to make the thumbnail than it does to write the video.
Oh,
I don't know
God.
Because you don't script videos, I don't know the perspective of that for you, but on average, the thumbnail process is about 4 to 5 hours, which includes a lot of different steps. Oh my God.
Are you okay? Do you have an artist that like draws stuff,
yes.
or are you? Oh, okay, all right. So that adds some stuff.
Yeah. So I make the mock-up idea. I give her a vague, really stupid drawing once I've come up with something.
I've done that before too. Yes.
Yes, and then I have to go through the process of, is the sketch good? Is the line art good? Is the coloring good? No, it's not. Let's do that. Let's slide it this way. Let's change it completely if it's not working. And yeah, it usually ends up 4 to 5 hours all up.
Oh wow. Another reason though I think I do the way it is on my channel is I'm putting out videos like every day almost. At least I used to. I used to do 6 or 7 a week. Now I've dialed that back a bit to like 4 or 5. But I'm doing videos so often. I'm churning them out. And so it's like I don't have time. I couldn't do 5 hours per thumbnail. I mean just like make a thumbnail go. Like I don't have the time for it.
Exactly. I hear you, because I know people who post less than me and spend potentially twice as long on thumbnails. So
that's interesting though. That's just something I never really sat down and considered as like one of the longest process. I know there were some people that took longer to make them, but I'm like thumbnail process long, like that long, that many hours. That's incredible. That's crazy to me.
There's a lot that goes into it. I was talking to BDA Law a couple of days ago, and he is one of the people who now bases his videos on a thumbnail idea because he finds making the thumbnail the most satisfying bit. It's like creating art.
Yeah, I've definitely done that before. There are videos where I make the thumbnail first and I just build from there. But, the vast majority of them come after the video is already filmed and rendered, and it's like one of the last things I do before I upload.
That's how I started as well, I would say, for sure. It's amazing, though. In 10 minutes, you make legitimate magic. I would not be able to do that.
It's, once again, it's just a thing that, I don't think they're that impressive, but I'm not really trying to do anything that's, I'm not trying to, optimize for YouTube or...
No, you're just being you, and that's why they work. Because those thumbnails, however much time you spend into them, however, arguably janky some of them might look, you still know that it's a
definitely a lot
video,
of them are, yeah.
And that ends up being the appeal.
Sometimes I just won't have time, or I'll just, not even I won't have time, it's just that, I have other stuff to do, and I'll just, here's, generic Kaido as a dragon. There you go. The laziest ones are just me taking a snapshot from the anime, throwing a border, a green border around it, be like, there you go.
I can see a few of those.
Oh, yeah. They're there. Yeah.
What is one thing you wish you knew when you first started YouTube 13 years ago?
From a practical standpoint, how taxes work.
Oh, yeah, that's a good answer. That's a very good answer.
Not really so much anything about video or editing. If I knew how to edit and stuff, if I could travel back in time and tell myself how to, edit properly, that would be great. But more than that, it's just first couple years doing this, and when I actually started making money on it, going to do taxes, and, the lady's like, so, yeah, you owe, thousands of dollars? And I'm like, oh, well, I don't have that much to give. I'm like, oh, well, you need it. So one time I was probably when would have this been? 2013, 2014, I would have been 20, 21 years old. I owed $4,000, and I had to ask my dad because I just didn't have the money. And it's now I have Tekking101 LLC. It's an actual corporation, and I have an accountant, which is because I'm not a math guy. I have an accountant. I have the whole 9 yards. Somebody helps me do taxes because I need that. But yeah, I would have told myself, figure out how taxes work or hire somebody that knows how taxes work.
Completely agreed. It becomes difficult because there is no box that this job fits into. It's always a bit awkward. And that's a common occurrence across countries, because I have nothing to do with your tax system, but ours has our own problems.
It's just a thing at the end of the day. People watch YouTubers and it's oh, this is fun. I want to do that. But you have to remember, it is a job. There is a whole business back end to this. You got to know. And also YouTube does not offer things like a normal full-time job would. There are no benefits. There is no retirement plan. You have to set all of that stuff up yourself. And it just adds more stuff to it. And I have a lot of people that know a lot more about this stuff that help me out, thankfully.
So much administration. Getting back to more inspirational matters, what are 3 simple things that a beginner YouTuber needs to succeed on this platform?
Okay, I would say number 1, whatever you talk about, be invested in it, make it something that you love. I feel after all, the main goal of having a career should be something that you love to do, right? At the baseline, it doesn't feel like work if it's something you love to do. And with YouTube, you pretty much could do anything. If you like to build model trains, well, there's a niche for that on YouTube or whatever, right? So I would say definitely something you love. Work on public speech a bit. You saw my earlier videos. I was definitely not as articulate or found my own style back then. It took a while, trial and error to get where I am now. So work on public speech, whether it be an actual class or just yourself, get used to to, hearing your own voice and your own face on camera, I guess, would be the second thing. And the third is, more from just an editing standpoint. We're well past the days where like a 360p webcam could get you through. Like when I started, I used an old video camera that recorded on tapes back in the day. That was my first camera. Oh yeah, 1-to-1 video rendering, meaning that if I filmed a 25-minute video, I had to sit there for 25 minutes while the video transferred over to my computer before I could edit it. Yeah, so get a decent webcam, get a decent microphone. They're going down in price immensely these days. Get a good editing software, learn how it works. You don't have to do everything super complicated, but that would definitely help as like the three thing. Learn how to use a basic Photoshop software, which I've been using GIMP for like the stupid name for a Photoshop software, but I've been using that for like 12, 13 years. So
yeah, Tekking and
what I got.
GIMP confirmed. That's fine. You gave
Oh, yes.
3 perfect answers. What was the recap? You need to be invested. You need to be passionate about what you're doing. Learn some public speaking. Maybe just watch a few YouTube videos that could help you as well. I definitely needed to do that. And invest in a little bit of equipment. There's very cheap, very good entry-level stuff. I think that is a fantastic set of advices. Mr. Tekking101, thank you so much for being generous with your time this evening, morning, whichever one it is for either of us. And I'm going to give you the last word.
Bye, everybody. Signing out. Barry says hi.